Silicon Valley Bank pledged nearly $74 million to Black Lives Matter. What more evidence do you need to show that if you go woke, you're going to go broke? I mean, all these initiatives, these DEIs and the ESG, uh, uh, the things that are they using to control us are destroying our economy. I mean, Silicon Valley is just one institution that has fallen, and many more is going to continue to fall if we don't do something about this stuff. This is the China way, the ESG stuff, the DEI stuff, the inclusion stuff, that woke stuff. It's all the China way, and it's used to destroy our country. And we need to do something about it now. But we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on here with Silicon Valley and Black Lives Matter. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store where I have I Will Not Comply t-shirts, so check those out as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Silicon Valley Bank might have been able to make good on $74 million promised to customers had it not pledged the money to leftist causes. According to a new database by the conservative Claremont Institute, the collapsed bank donated or pledged to donate nearly $74 million to groups related to the Black Lives Matter movement. Will Hyde, the executive director of Consumers Research, told the Federalist that SVB's failure on the heels of his left-wing activism, quote, is yet another indication that SVB was focused on woke virtue signaling instead of protecting their customers' deposits. Quote, time after time we see the same pattern. Companies that are most concerned with ESG scores and woke politics do the worst job serving their customers, Howard explained. The rest of corporate America should learn from SVB's failure now before they are the next company to make headlines for comically poor management. And again, this is the China way. ESG is a way to make sure corporations are following this woke ideology, and they're getting grades for this woke ideology. SVB was actually graded with an A when it comes to ESG, when it comes to diversity and inclusion and all this other bull crap, this green agenda, this LGBTQ agenda that they're pushing through corporations. Well, public reports published on the company's website offer a window into the bank's leftist corporate apparatus that prioritize Wall Street environmental, social, and governance standards over its fiduciary duty to shareholders. So they don't care about shareholders. They care about looking good with social justice and all this other stuff. Be damned. Shareholders be damned. And I would recommend that anyone that if you have any money put into these woke corporations, you should pull them and put them in corporations that don't go off of this ESG stuff, because they don't care about making more money for you. They care about, again, looking good on environmental, social, and governance end. 2 months after racially charged riots led to the most destructive outbreak of American political upheaval in more than a century, the bank joined the chorus of corporate firms touting their commitment to so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. Quote, innovation is global and it's touching every aspect of our lives, which is creating even more need for inclusiveness of ideas and approach, read a report from August 2020. Quote, we are on a journey committed to increasing diversity, equity, and inclusion in our workplace with our partners and across the innovative economy. Again, if anyone talks this DEI stuff, if anyone talks this ESG stuff, run the other way. It's an indication. It's like people with pronouns in their bio. You don't want to deal with them because you know that they're not in their right state of mind. We're going along with this bull crap. So why would you go with a company that goes along with this bull crap? But Silicon Valley's Bank's report highlighted the fact that 67% of its total workforce checks a diversity box. Employees considered diverse include any woman, any person of color, veteran, or person with disability. When this report was published, half of the bank's senior leadership and 69% of board members met that criteria. Y'all know how I feel about that. I care about merit. I want the best person for the job. I don't care if you're a female. I don't care if you're part of the LGBTQ community. I don't care about any of this stuff. If you're a veteran, whatever the case may be, I want the best person for the job. Merit. But the left don't care about merit. They care about checking boxes. That same month, riots erupt in Kenosha, Wisconsin, wreaking havoc on communities that are still recovering years later. A corporate responsibility report in 2020 also highlighted SVB's activist efforts in supporting people based on their race and sex. Quote, in recent months, we've expanded our philanthropic giving through corporate donations and employee matching programs, wrote CEO Greg Becker in an introductory letter attached to the report. Quote, these programs focus on pandemic response, social justice, sustainability, and supporting women, black, and of course they use the word Latinx or Latinx, emerging talent, and other underrepresented groups. Latino people do not like being called that, except for a couple a couple academics and the white people that created that term, the only ones that really use it. Majority of Latinos, I think it was like 80 or 90%, said that they do not use that term or want to use that term. But according to numbers emphasized in the report's fact page, SVB spent $2.8 million on gender parity innovation and diverse emergent talent. The governance committee focus on overall diversity continues in 2021, read a corporate proxy statement including on race, ethnicity, and other underrepresented categories. See, they do this stuff so when you go try to get a loan from this bank and you're a person of color and they don't give it to you, you can't say it's because I'm a person of color or I'm a black person. They can say, no, look, we give to these we believe in ESG, we believe in inclusiveness and all this other stuff. So they can be racist by in their support of you and by giving a couple $1 million to these causes. But in 2021, the bank reiterated its commitment to ESG standards to the World Economic Forum. Quote, we aim to enable relevant comparisons to our ESG performance with peer companies, read its index to the global financial institution. And of course, they would be a member of the World Economic Forum. Of course. Now look what's happening to this bank. That same year, the bank's parent company, SVB Financial Group, advertised $11.2 billion investment in an ambiguous, quote, community benefits plan, pouring money into low-income housing assistance. Quote, as a leader in the innovation economy, we strive to use our voice and influence to help shape a better future and contribute to progress in our communities, Becker said in a statement at the time. Given the company's obsession with ESG standards, the CEO definition of progress in communities is synonymous with progression and activism. SVB's 2021 Corporate Responsibility Report outlined more commitments to moving ESG standards forward in, quote, journey that will continue and evolve with the needs of our stakeholders and our alignment with our mission, values, and business energy. Now, mind you, they said stakeholders. They did not say shareholders. So they don't care about your money or making you money. The bank's promotion of ESG also included climate activism. Last year, the SVB Financial Group pledged $5 billion in loans to support anti-emission efforts by 2027. The project, quote, aims to support companies that are working to decarbonize the energy and infrastructure industries and hasten the transition to a sustainable net zero emissions economy. SVB fell apart this month after the company made a bad bet on lower interest rates. Now, depositors are getting a bailout from federal officials, while residents of East Palestine, Ohio, worry whether the town is safe to live in. I mean, this is Biden's America. This is Biden's policies coming home to roost, and we're seeing it now. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.